What's up guys, and welcome to the very first episode of my EA FC 25 career mode, where we'll be beginning with newly promoted Ipswich Town, the Tractor Boys in the English Premier League. So firstly, welcome back to my returning viewers, good to see you once again, and for my new viewers, hello, hi, welcome, my name is Jonah, otherwise known as Docks. I have been uploading FIFA/FC videos to YouTube since 2011, so well over a decade. Massive football fan, massive FIFA fan, have been since the age of 6, been playing since 99, and yes, I am that old, plus road to the World Cup in 98 as well, how can we forget that, and big career mode fan too. So yeah, massive career mode fan, and if you do like your career modes, definitely stick around. I'll be uploading this series every single day. It's going to be a challenge, but really looking forward to it. So starting with Ipswich Town. Yeah, okay, so fair enough, as we can see, it's not a great team to begin with. This is the lowest rated team in the Premier League. Briefly on the Tractor Boys, their nickname, for those that want a brief history on the club, based in East Anglia, big rivalry with Norwich City as well. Back in the 1960s and the 1970s, they were a top flight team. They played in Europe. They won the UEFA Cup, I believe, back in the 1970s as well, and they're also one-time FA Cup winners too. But after their relegation from the Premier League in the early noughties, they haven't been back until now, after back-to-back promotions under Kieran McKenna from League One to the Premier League. Ipswich Town, after 2 decades, are back in the top tier. However, most pundits do believe they will be getting relegated in the first season, and the reason being is because, well, as you'll be running through the team here with me, it's not a great side. It's not a great side. It's statistically the lowest ranked team in the division. For in the first 4 games at the time recording this commentary, they haven't got a win yet. They've got 2 draws and 2 losses. So, okay, 2 points on the board. Not a disastrous start, but yeah, it's a weak side. It's definitely going to need some improvement, no doubt about that. But with Ipswich, with the Tractor Boys, what we want to do is lay down a long-term plan with this side. Not just bring in flashy signings for the first season in the Premier League, big names, and hope they'll keep us up, but no, look for players that we can rebuild this team with. So whether we go down or we survive, we can build a new core here of young players for the long term to be with us throughout our tenure at Portman Road. So Ipswich do start off with a good budget, to be fair, £32 million. So that's not bad at all, but most of that money will be spent on the youth scouting. If you're new viewers to the channel, youth scouting is really important to me, man. We always try and get the best academy we can, get some great talent through the academy, through the youth setup, good homegrown talent, and develop them for the future as well. But in terms of players that are contract coming the end of the year, first we're going to sort out of Ipswich here. We've got 5 players that deals that come the end of the season and 2 players that are of course loaned in. I'm probably going to let Axel Tawanzabi and Massimo Luongo go. Maybe Cameron Burgess too, but the 2 players I will give new deals to are Luke Wolfenden, the centre half, now 25 years old, approaching his prime. He's 6'4", this guy. He's an absolute giant, really tall centre half, and definitely someone I have plans for in the short term at least. But also as well, Leif Davis, massive fan of this guy. Last year was one of the top assist makers in the Championship, was crucial to their promotion winning season to the Premier League, and he's in my fantasy team as well. I'm a big fan of this guy, so they'll be getting new contracts. But for sales and signings in the first season, I try and keep it quite realistic if I can. I'm probably going to limit myself to 2 signings and 2 sales at the absolute max. So I think that Burgess and Luongo I'm going to put on the transfer list. As for Tawanzabi, I'll evaluate his contract midway through the season. Also, I know what some of you will be thinking, Doxy, what's going on with your manager's skin, man? I look about 60. I do not know. I literally, there's been a massive overhaul for like the appearance of the players and managers as well. I literally could not get mine sorted. I'd have to have another play around at some point in the future. But anyway, yeah, so youth scouting, of course, very important to me. So you might be wondering, Doxy boy, why you're releasing all your academy boys. Well, basically, I like to start with a fresh academy, a clean slate. Release everyone, all of the youngsters, let them all go, and bring in a new batch as well. I don't like to get players given to me. I like to do all the scouting myself. So I believe we start off, yeah, we do. We start off with a 5-star scout anyway, so that's fantastic. But normally you get 3 scouting slots. I believe that's still the same. Yeah, there we go. And also for the new year, is there another 5-star? Go on. Yes, there we go. Thank you, Malcolm Arthur. Come on, fingers crossed, touch wood. Let's get 3 out of 3. Come on. No, not this time. I might wait for another one then. For this year, EA have done a brilliant thing, which is they've massively expanded the amount of countries you could scout. In previous years, there was a really limited amount, but now, I mean, you can go to so many nations and so many different nations as well, such as San Marino, who just got their first competitive win recently. What a historic football moment that was, and it's great. So where are we going to send our scouts then? So I always keep one scout in England, looking for those homegrown talents from the local area. So we'll be looking around East Anglia for some great young talent to come through the Ipswich Academy, doing a 9-month mission. And can you specify a type of player? Oh, yes, you can. Interesting. You can still do this then, looking for a position or a type of player. But instead, I want to look for any. Is there no way to look for any? Okay, so annoyingly, I have to specify at least one type of position for my youth scout. I normally just like to cast the biggest net possible, but okay, fair enough. I think for Ipswich, we're going to need to score goals, no doubt about it. You know the cliche, goals win games, so we're going to need to score some goals. I know we just brought in Liam Delap, really good young forward, well worth looking out for the future. We will need some good strikers, I think, going through the 7. I think on the wings as well, is where we'll be looking for English players. I think let's go as offensive as we can. CAM and the striker and the 2 wings as well. So we're looking for a good offensive player from England. Now, as for the second nation we're going to scout, we will pick up another 5-star judgment scout when one becomes available. So many new nations to scout, but I'm going to stick with a nation I have scouted before, but there's a reason for it, and I'm really excited for this as well. It's a nation I knew I was going to scout straight off the bat when we took over Ipswich, and that is Canada, and there's a reason for this. Ipswich have had quite a few Canadian players over the years, and Ipswich Town currently hold a joint record for worst defeat in Premier League history. It was 9-0 at Old Trafford against Manchester United back in the 1990s, and that team featured 2 Canadian players as well. And you had Frank Yallop in defence, and you also had Craig Forrest in goal as well. 2 Canadians. And I don't know why, but I love the idea of bringing in some Canadian defenders to sort of avenge demons, if you will, from the time when they were absolutely battered at Old Trafford in what remains a joint record of worst defeat in Premier League history. So I'm going to look for some Canadian defenders. Can I pick a goalkeeper as well? Can I not do a goalkeeper too? Oh man, that's so annoying. You can't pick a goalkeeper and outfield players as well. In that case, I'm going to say, do you know what? We got a pretty solid back 4, to be fair, with, again, Wolfenden, Leif Davis at left back 2. You got Calvin Phillips and Cajusta on loan, bolstering the back line. I'm going to say, fair enough, we're just going to look for a Canadian goalkeeper as well. And when I get the next 5-star scout, then we'll look at the back 4 and possibly the DM area as well. So we're looking for the next Craig Forrest that will avenge the demons from that 9-0 loss back in the 1990s. I love that, man. It's time to rewrite the script. So yeah, with Ipswich, what we want to do is bring in some great talent from the academy. And again, what we're going to do is look to build a core here of young players that we can keep with us, whether we go down or stay up. Either way, players that we're here for the long term. I mean, they've got some good young talent they've brought in for this year. Again, Liam Delap, Jack Clark, massive fan of his. Amari Hutchinson on the left-hand side as well. Murich coming in from Burnley. So I quite like what Ipswich's model is for the new season. They haven't come in and just brought in a load of big names, a load of big stars on big contracts, but instead they're looking for some good young talent that, whether they go down or stay up, will be with them for the long term. So in terms of transfers, again, I'm not going to make much changes to the team in the first season. Again, maybe one sale, maybe one signing, but not much. And again, with transfers, we want to keep it quite realistic as well. Like, don't expect Endrick to be coming in a January transfer window, for example. We do try and keep things quite realistic, and that also includes with sales as well. Liam Delap has literally just signed for us, so any player that's just signed in this window, such as Liam Delap, such as Amari Hutchinson, is obviously off limits, and Sam Morsey, club captain as well, we're not going to sell him either. Granted, Aston Villa are a European side, but I think realistically right now, Morsey being in his early 30s, I think with Ipswich now being in the Premier League, he'd rather stay with us at least for the first year. But if we get a big bid from a big club for one of our players, I'm not against letting them go, but again, it's got to be realistic. Liam Delap literally would have signed, about a week ago. He's not going to leave directly afterwards. Oh, there is a bid from Fulham for Massimo Luongo. I said I'm totally fine letting him go. Been at Portman Road for a couple of years now, but in the final year of his contract, I'm happy to sell one player and bring in one player as well. But again, we're not going to totally gut the team out in the first season. Since we've literally just arrived, that wouldn't be realistic. But I'm okay letting him go to Fulham. So that's Massimo Luongo gone to Fulham. We'll take the small amount of money. Not going to get much, but gets his salary off the books, and especially as it's an expiring contract, that means he's not have to pay his full wages for the year as well. So our budget rises slightly, And as we take a look at the youth scouting now, there isn't a 5-star yet, but it is a 4-star, 5-star, and that'll do me fine. The scouting, you see it there at the top. More experience in a scout will find a large number of players, but the most important rating is the judgment. So long as you've got a 5-star judgment, the experience can be 4-star or 3-star. He's still going to find the absolute best players for you, even though there won't be as many per mission. So we get a 4-star, 5-star to join the ranks as well. And as for where I'll send him, I've got to do one of the new nations, man. I'm going to choose one of the new nations now. I mean, I've got to give EA props on this as well, because the amount of scoutable nations now, you'll be able to see them just below the map. It's fantastic. We did not have this. For so many years, we just had such a limited amount of nations to scout, and now it's class. Look at some of these nations, man. Tonga, Vanuatu, Solomon Islands, Fiji, Papua New Guinea. It's class, man. I think we've currently got one in North America. We've got one in Europe. I say go to another continent, and I'm thinking Africa. And maybe one of the new nations from Africa. So I've done a ton of scouting in the Western region. Ghana, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Senegal. Been to those nations many times before. I've done North Africa quite a lot with Morocco, Algeria, Egypt too. But there's never been a nation in East Africa that's been available to scout. All of these nations are now new for FC25. So I'm going to say let's go from the west side to the east side of Africa. And some of these nations are class, man. Madagascar, Somalia, Zimbabwe, Burundi, some really cool nations here, man. I want to scout them all, to be honest, but I think we should start with, I'm going to go with Tanzania. Tanzania, this is really cool. Tanzania have never been to a World Cup. I don't think they've ever been past the group stage in the AFCON. But in the next AFCON, they are co-hosting it with Kenya and another nation as well that I can't remember. But Tanzania have never had like a football star, despite being such a cool nation. Beautiful country as well. I'm going to go Tanzania. One of the new nations in East Africa for 9 months. And let's look for... Who should we look for? Let's go through the heart of the middle of the pitch as well, but also a playmaker too. Looking for the next star from Tanzania. And again, we'll be casting the biggest net possible and not specifying a type. Looking for any sort of player whatsoever. So a midfielder and also a playmaker as well. Let's do it, man. I'm buzzing for this first time scouting. There's so many new ones, man. I want to scout them all. So we just had a couple of bids for Leif Davis, who's just signed a new contract, and Liam Delap, who's just signed here. So again, totally fine selling the players, but it's got to be realistic, not players that have just put pen to paper here. But as we're getting through to the first of the month, here we go. I'm buzzing for this. We've got our first scouting updates, and we'll see what we've got from, where are we here? From England. This is tricky for me. It's all totally changed. But from England and from Canada. Where are they? It's weird. They don't come in the emails like they used to. You used to get an email for this, but now you've got to actually go to the screen to get it. Very strange. I don't know why they've changed that. But anyway, here we go. First scouting updates from England and Canada. And I've got to be honest here. To begin with, it's not looking like a great start. Oh, this is interesting. I don't see a... oh, there's the potential. I was going to say, I didn't see a potential range. You see the overall range, but it's not showing a potential range on the actual player. Oh, he's 13! He's 13? Well done, he's 13. 13! 14. My God, these guys are kids. They are literally kids. Never mind 16, 17, 18. They're 13! Well, Oscar Barnard could be alright. He's got a good barnet as well. Great hair. But I think these two players here, Nicholas Price and Oscar Barney, look quite good. I actually might just give Nicholas Price a scholarship straight away because he's 13. He's got a long way to go. But I think I'll reject the others and just continue the scouting on Oscar. That's totally thrown me. I did not realise they were going to reduce the age to that level. 13. That's the soundbite of the episode. 13. Oh my goodness. And as for goalkeepers, not a great start from Canada, it seems, with Alex Johnson. Bruce Jones could be alright. So could Isaac Lewis. The overall's decent starter as well. He's 17 as well. And Logan Coleman could be quite good. Same with Joshua Coleman as well. I might even give Isaac Lewis a scholarship straight away, you know, because again, he's already 17. His overall range is okay. I don't know. I think I'll continue the scouting just for now. Let's get to Tanzania though. I'm super buzzed for this nation. The captain just came to me and said, "Hi boss, I'm not one to complain or say I'm unhappy at the club. I'm worried the transfer window's almost over now, and we don't know that we've brought in the players we need to strengthen the team." Bro, I'm finding it difficult enough just to navigate the menu, let alone bringing players in. Let's get to the 7th though, man. I want to see who we get from Tanzania. Again, if we are going to sign some players. Oh, okay, so you actually get it from the main menu. It's here. Okay, there we go. So it doesn't go into the inbox anymore, but it is in your sort of like home central screen. Okay, if we are going to bring in players, I'm not going to overspend, man. I'm making sure we bring in players that, I tell you what, this guy, oh my god, I think I've just found a cheat nation. Oh my god, these players are unbelievable. These players are unbelievable. Wow. I mean, they're all named Hassan, which is a bit strange. Why are they all called Hassan? I've got 2 Fred Hassans, a James, Samuel Richards. There's another Fred. I've got 3 Fred Hassans. There's only 3 Fred Hassans. What is this? We all dream of a team of Fred Hassans. What on earth is going on here? Well, this guy's not got good potential. This guy's got solid potential. Samuel could be all right as well. James ain't going to make it. Okay, so that's a bit of a dupe then. The overalls are poor for the most part. Sorry, the overalls are great, but the potentials are terrible. What is this? This is bizarre, EA. Listen, I love the new nations, don't get me wrong, but this is going to need some work. But Richard Hassan, this guy looks fantastic, man. 58 to 78, deep line playmaker, that possibly be a box-to-box as well, with solid potential, and he's already 17 as well. So with that being the case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a scholarship. Why are they all called Hassan? Right, let me check him in the academy. Because we've got the young lad from England as well, Price. Although he's only 13, him. But this dude looks phenomenal. Richard Hassan, 63 overall, 71 to 94 potential. The potential range is probably going to drop, we would assume, but I'd imagine the lowest it will drop to his low 80s. And 63 overall means he'll be good enough in the first team, literally, to at least come off the bench, if not start. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give him a pro deal, and I'm going to check his potential as well. Because to me, I think right off the bat there, we might have found someone really good there. I'm going to be really annoyed if all the players you would find from Tanzania are called Hassan. This is my big issue with EA. They don't have a big enough name pool. But where is he in the screen here? Does he have potential? No, he doesn't, unfortunately. So that's a shame. It's a bit of a tease there. He's got 3 for heading. He's got 3 for heading accuracy. I don't know how it can be that low. I've never seen a player with worse heading than that. If his first goal is a header, that's like when Tony Hibbert scored his first goal in a testimonial. Like, this is bizarre, EA. Don't get me wrong, I am so pleased to see the amount of new nations, but clearly there's some bugs here. This is going to need to be worked on. So I'm going to jump into the first game of the season, but I don't actually know how. Oh, there we are, Matchday. This menu it's going to take some time, guys. I'll get to grips with it soon, I'm sure, but this is going to take some time. Hang on, why am I there? Why am I, what? Victory for Watford over Exeter after a dramatic penalty shootout. Why is it me? Why was I on the touchline? Why was I at Vicarage Road? Okay, this year's career mode shows a lot of promise, but there's clearly a lot of bugs here. Right, let's jump into the first game of the season, and it is indeed Liverpool at home, just like in real life, where they were beaten 2-0 at the start of the season. Hopefully, we'll do a little bit better in our opening day. Heading into it, just for those curious, I play on Ultimate. My sliders are untouched default on 50, but I do have the injury frequency up for the user, just so we can get some injuries during the season to make it realistic. And one thing I will give EA credit for, you'll learn this for new viewers to the channel, I'm very fair with EA, criticise them when they deserve it, give them props when they deserve it. Oh, the full match intro screens are back. Thank goodness for that, man. We were really missing it last season. But yeah, Liverpool is our season opener. I'll certainly take a point on match day 1 and see if we can do better than the Tractor Boys did in real life. Come on, Ipswich Town. Yep, so the sliders might be adjusted during the season based on how things are going. And we want a realistic kind of gameplay, but also with the results as well. We don't want Ipswich Town to be battling for a top 4 place coming the end of the season, for example, because that just isn't quite realistic. But we'll see how we do. My expectation for this season, my aspirations for the season too, is definitely, no doubt about it, just survive. We know in the first season it's going to be really, really difficult But if we can just keep ourselves above water, forget the FA Cup and the League Cup when those competitions come round, but if we can finish in 17th place and survive on goal difference at the end of the season, I'll take that. So early corner for Liverpool. Again, don't forget, this season, Arne Slot's first competitive game here at Portman Road, and Liverpool won by 2-0. Good start for them. And, oh, good save by Muric on Van Dijk. We almost went a goal down early. Really struggling early doors here. Struggling to get out on my own half as Muric makes another good save. And we can't prevent the corner. And right from the get-go in our first game, already Liverpool setting their intentions out. I'm struggling, but this is what we expected. First game of the season of our new-look tractor boys. Back in the Premier League, back-to-back promotions. Statistically, the weakest side in the division, obviously. We knew it was going to be tough right from the get-go as Luis Diaz rolls it through, and there's the first goal. It's coming. It was coming. See in the bottom left there. Tough start, mix it up, press down for tactical suggestions. Interesting. Getting some feedback here from the assistant manager for the first time we get that. That's quite nice, that. But we're going to need to make quite a few changes, I think, right now, because we are getting peppered. I need to adjust this camera angle as well. I'm not liking this at all. Oh, Doxy boy, all the excuses coming out here. The camera angle. Come on, mate. Samikas down the left finds the goal scorer Harvey Elliott. There's Mo Salah going for goal, shot blocked by Wolfenden, and Ben Johnson can't prevent the corner. It is literally one-way traffic right now, and Liverpool are attacking us like a freight train coming down that one-way road. Muric with the save prevents him from coming to. But at the moment, it's only a matter of time. Sam Morsey just couldn't get away. And this is about as difficult as I expected the first game to be. And if it wasn't for Muric, man, we'd be like 2 or 3 goals down. That's half time, but thank God for that. We should be out of this, man. I don't know whether EA have upped the difficulty for this year, but if they have, fair play, because I'm certainly feeling like it is ultimate. This is a slog. Yeah, I think EA must have tweaked the difficulty for this year, which is good, really good, because at times ultimate could be a little bit too easy. But I have struggled here. I have not had a single chance all game long until handball. Ref, thank you. Yeah, handball. Possibly here from this set piece. This might be the only chance we get all game long from a dead ball situation. Need a good delivery from Leaf. In it goes. Up in the air. And cleared. I've had nothing. Absolutely nothing on the offensive end. As Connor Chaplin strikes from range and Alisson makes the save. Best chance of the game, and it came from 25 yards. Okay, been a little bit better in the second half, I'll be honest here, as you can see that Liverpool just requested to make a sub. That's really cool, that. Nice little feature there from EA. Giving you some feedback from the sidelines. But the feedback on the pitch right now is simple. Gaffer, we got to make some adjustments because we're getting carved open. Salah makes it 26 to go. I think this game is done. It's now or never, says the assistant manager in the bottom right, mate. I think it was never. About half an hour in, it's free. It's become worse than it was in real life, and that is what I really wanted to avoid. Salah at the double. It is free. 2 decades outside the top tier. Welcome back, Ipswich Town. What a tough return this has been. You know, last year I went on record as saying that FC 24 was the most difficult version of the franchise I've ever played. I've only played 1 game in FC 25 so far, but as Muric gathers at the second attempt, I think this one might be even more difficult if this game is a sign of what's to come. Battered 3-0, and it could have been about 6 or 7, and I'm not surprised that 2/3 of Portman Road is emptied. Oh my goodness. Welcome back to the Premier League, Ipswich. That was as tough as it gets. And we know this is going to be a long road to glory, a long rebuild, but we've got to get to work straight away. And I think we will need to make a signing before the window shuts, because that was ridiculous. And that'll do it for the first episode of Career Mode as well, guys. So massive thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the series opening, then please do drop a like. And if you are new to the channel, don't forget to click subscribe, as this series will be uploaded daily. And we'll be back in the next episode with more youth scouting to come. We'll definitely need to make a signing with 30 mil in the budget, and still a week and a half to go until the transfer window slams shut. And we'll have more big games in the Premier League for our first Premier League points. And who we got next? Oh, great. Man City away at the Etihad Stadium. Nice, easy game to follow on from then, with us rooted to the bottom of the table after the first game. Have a great day, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.